You sent me your FM24 saves, and some of you have been up to some crazy adventures like re-signing Lionel Messi at Barcelona and then going on to create this youth setup. Have a look at the names in this 11. Some of these are really good fun, so I thought in today's video, we'll have a look at some. Okay, so FM24 is officially out, and with that, the early access period, formerly known as the beta, is now over. Now, every year we see people start short-term saves to get them through the early access period before then moving on to their long-term saves when the new game officially launches. I thought it'd be fun to have a look at a few of these, so let's jump in to the first one, which is it's this one here we looked at in the intro. It is the save of Jack. Jack, thank you for sending in your save. It's a really incredible save, I'm going to tell you right now. It's a Barcelona beta save, and here in 2025, I just need to show you this 11 and some of the names that he's got going on in here. In goal, I mean, let's just work through the names that are in here first of all, and then we can have a look at what he's achieved, where he's managed to finish. But this is the end point, 17th of August 2025. So that is the end of the second season, I do believe, if my calculations are correct. In goal, we've got Diogo Costa. Then we've got Ivan Fresneda and Balde as wing-backs. Antonio Silva with Araujo as centre-backs. I mean, it's so good, isn't it? And then this midfield and attack, I don't know if you can get much better in terms of just pure youth quality. João Neves, who is a joke, he's one of the best players in this team, and 20 years old. If you're not signing him in your save, what are you thinking? Starts off at Benfica. He was in our Youth Wonder Kids video that we did. So good. How much did you sign him for here? Okay, right. So Jack signed him a little bit later. So he's kind of missed that bargain point at the start of the game and then gone on to spend £105 million. Actually, we need to look at the transfers, don't we, afterwards? But yeah, he's quite good anyway. Then he's got Pedri and Gavi, of course, already at Barcelona with Xavi Simons on the right-hand side. He has got good pace, actually. I think he's more like a midfielder, but playing him off the right-hand side, maybe because of the other players we've got in this team. How much did he cost? 115 million. Right, Jack, you've not been scared to splash the cash. I think we're all agreeing at this point here. First season as well, bringing him in for £115 million. Rooney Bargi, FM legend. I really hope he goes on to have the career that Football Manager thinks he's going to have. He seems highly rated in real life, but what a player. He costs £18 million. That's a little bit more like it. Is it second season or is it third season? Maybe it's going, yeah, it's going into the third season, sorry, isn't it? So yes, end of second season, going into the second, and then the prodigy that is Lamine Yamal leading the line up front. Using him as a striker is quite interesting. How much did he... I was going to say how much did he cost. How did he get on in the first two seasons? Played loads of games, scored goals second season. That is outstanding. 7.51 average rating from the wonder boy that is Lamine Yamal. Another thing to point out in the signings on here is to go to the bench because Lionel Messi back at Barcelona brought in for £2.5 million after his second season at Inter Miami. Played some games. Jack does say, by the way, in his description of this save, I did ask you guys to do a little bit of a description when you submitted these. He did describe it as a youth-only save, but then did say ignore the Messi signing. I get it, right? Sometimes these things are tempting, and bringing in a 37-year-old Lionel Messi, bringing him back to Barcelona, yeah, I'd be tempted as well. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I've just signed him in the Newcastle save. Spoilers, by the way, if you're not following that save when we live stream it, both here and on Twitch, by the way. But yeah, Messi's now at St James's Park in that one. Let's have a look at how he's got on in the previous two seasons here, Jack. Playing, we should mention maybe the tactic too, just this 4-3-3, which is the JH Ajax 4-3-3, which I assume is another save. He's also got a 5-2-2-1 loaded in, which is a keep the ball possession type tactic, and then a 4-2-3-1, which is like a version, I think, of this. Yeah, very similar instructions on those. Let's have a look at how he's got on then in the league. Started off this year, 2 wins from 2. Cannot complain. He's beaten Bilbao and Sevilla 3-0. In fact, let's have a look at one of these games just to see how dominant he is. A home game against Sevilla. Yeah, that's fairly dominant, isn't it? 22 shots for him. Just the 4 for Sevilla. None on target. Yeah, fair enough. You're earning these wins and deserving these wins. Let's go back to last season. I mean, I'm just looking at the results in here. That is a sea of green. I am saying he did go out of the Champions League to PSG, though. PSG still doing things against Barcelona. Let's have a look at that league campaign, first of all. For 2024, if we go back 24-25, he did win the league. 101 points. Just 5 games with drop points in. Lost to Real Madrid in the Bernabeu and beat them at home, though, which was nice. Real Madrid second, 95 points. So did win the league. Did he win the league first season? Okay, he did. So both seasons so far have been title-winning seasons. How has he got on in the cups then? Competition, and that's not the best way to look. Landmarks, maybe the best way to go, is it? He has won, in this save, the Spanish Cup, the Spanish Super Cup, the League. They've moved to the new Camp Nou, by the way, the updated one built in. It says he's moved them. Is that because of the building? It's the same Camp Nou, of course, but yeah, it does actually log it in here with all of the works that they're doing on the stadium. Won the Spanish Cup, runners-up in... I've missed it. I've read that wrong before. Runners-up in the Spanish Cup, Super Cup twice, won the Spanish Cup twice, won the league again, made Messi the vice-captain, and that's it. So no luck in the Champions League so far. I just want to see how much money has been spent as well in total on here before we move on to the next save. No one signed this year, or on this calendar year anyway, just loaned out and sold some players. £41 million for Vitor Roque, who's moved on to Bayern. He must have signed him too. Okay, yeah, because before that, he spent £550 million. The biggest of all is that Xavi Simons signing and that João Neves one, which was the two we looked at actually. João Hato, what a player he can become. Still very young though, cost about £100 million. Javi Guerrero, Costa, Zaire Emery's a great signing down there. Look, Esteval, like him for one to develop, does need a lot of nurturing though in this year's game. And then there's £281 million out. Big sales. Jules Koundé went to Arsenal. To Stegen, £63 million. Let's go and have a look at the first season signings. Rooney Bargi all the way down. He did go and sign Naipan. How's he got on? Is he still around? He is. Is developing. Decent value. How many games? Maybe a loan? No, just a few games last year. 14 games last year. So really going for those youth players, which is quite fun. Fresneda cost the most. Did bring in £217 million actually. De Jong, Christensen, Rafinha all leaving. Selling Lewandowski to Al Nassr as well, going to Ronaldo's team in Saudi Arabia. What a fun save. What a good save we've got going on here. I wonder if Jack's going to continue this one to try and win that Champions League. That's maybe what I'd be tempted to do. Either way, though, that's been a fun start. Let's move through to our second save to have a look at. And next up, we have a save in Japan with Kawasaki Fontali. Here is the team, by the way. It is the save from Nicola. Nicola, thank you very much for sending in your save. It looks like a really fun one. Here he is. Nicola Nikolov is the manager. Bulgarian. Love that. And you've been managing in Japan now. I wanted to show this one because I think there's a lot of people who will be intrigued by the prospect of managing in the J League with the new licensing and with the way that it's going to work. I don't know why we've got repeated stats and things on here. It's because I've loaded it into my skin. So if it looks a bit weird, it's because he hasn't had this skin to set up these panels here, and of course you can change them. A link to the skin, by the way, will be in today's description. I know loads of you are asking. I will include that link. If you're ever after things like views or skins or like photo packs or whatever it might be, the best place to find all of these things is over on my Patreon. If you support, there's a £2 option or a £5 a month option. Either of those, it means you can message me and ask for these things, and I'm happy to share them. That's probably the best place to do it though. Anyway, let's have a look at Nicola's save here. Let's have a look at the tactics first of all. We're rocking another 4-3-3. Counter-attack system is quite fun though. I don't know if actually this was adapted from the counter-attack. It does look quite counter-attacky actually, which is maybe a different way of playing. I can see we're not necessarily going to recognise as many of the players in this one, although that's Jesus Vallejo, isn't it, who played for Real Madrid in at centre-back there. Maybe other names that we might recognise. Sekou Koita is very recognisable. He played in Europe for Salzburg, a striker. Tovan is there. Is that Alexis Sanchez? It is Alexis Sanchez playing in Japan. That's very fun. Okay, maybe I was wrong when I said there was not going to be as many names that we're going to recognise, because there's actually loads. There is, look, Fosu Mensah is playing in there. Joel Matip is playing how many games? How many games did he actually play? Okay, not that many. Signed on a free transfer. Did big Joel Matip, one of the biggest heroes in football, if you ask me. Okay, maybe there are some names that we will recognise. Let's have a look at what Nicola said about this save. He said, a Kawasaki Frontali career, end of third season, current Asian champions. That's cool. Let's have a look at that Asian. Is it the Asian Champions League run? It was. Oh, that's Group G. I mean, I'm scrolling down to the bottom here. Where does this Champions League... It kind of goes over both seasons here. Okay, are we current champions? Where's the final? There is the Club World Cup look. So, aha. Wow. The Champions League in Asia, the final is... Let's go to the stages here. The final is... Are we in the west or the east? I imagine the east, right? But how do I get to the final of this? Last season's. Here we go. Ignore me. the final's over 2 legs. That's really interesting, isn't it? I don't think we see that very often. I found it finally, by the way. It was Al Ittihad who played against Nicola in the final here. Kawasaki coming out 4-2 winners on aggregate after losing. I can't see the fixture, which is a bit annoying. Losing the second leg, but winning the first leg 4-1. They were Asian Cup champions, which meant they went into the Club World Cup look at the start of this calendar year here. Club World Cup quarterfinals, they lost to RB Leipzig, which is interesting. Let's have a look at what other achievements we've had in the J League. I assume we are champions here. Yeah, we've won the league here. Look, with 88 points. I think it's a really fun save, especially with the way that all the fixtures and everything works. It's a little bit different. He is a bargain, by the way. Alexander Aravina, massive bargain that you can go and sign in your saves. Free transfer in this one, but starting in his team, you can get him really cheap at the start of the game. He starts in Chile, so you might need to load in the Chilean leagues, but look how good he is for so cheap. Anyway, let's move on to our third save. Okay, so next up, we've got possibly the most unhinged save of the saves that have been submitted to me, and it's been submitted by Mad, and it is Mad. Thank you, Mad, for sending this one in. It is a save where we have a manager that is called Well Yes, which I just don't understand the naming, but either way, I'm not going to question it too much. And we are currently at Brighton. Well, yes, didn't start at Brighton, though. Did actually, in fact, start at Braga before moving during the first season to Brighton in the Premier League. Here, though, is where the weird stuff happens. Most recently, look, at the end of season 3, 2026 here, look. They have finished 9th on 58 points, mid-table with Brighton, which is kind of just quite regular, actually. And you might be thinking, is this weird? Is this unhinged? Let me go to the tactics screen and show you why this is just a bizarre save, but I kind of like it. Here's the tactic. It is this weird, slightly overpowered shape with the 2 volantes in there with the 3 strikers through the middle. And you might be like, that's fine. It's just like an overpowered, slightly tactic. I don't even know if it is overpowered. They finished 9th. It's a fun tactic, definitely. But when you actually look deeper, there's a lot to unpack. Let's start with the strikers. We've got Moukoko here at Brighton, which is a pretty good signing, isn't it? Alongside Sesko on the other side. Great signing. And then through the middle, that's Harry Maguire. That's Harry Maguire trained as a striker and having scored 8 goals in the league this year. That's what is going on. I want to just check, actually. Are all of these games being played as a striker? Yeah, target forward. Harry Maguire is now a target forward in this save. Number 3, 33 years old. He's actually wanted by quite a few teams want to buy him. Maybe to play him as a striker. I don't know. And that's not even where this ends. If you go through the rest of the team, we've got Matoma playing right wing back and Buonanotte playing left wing back. And I'm reliably informed that Rooney Bargi is also being trained as a wing back. If we go to his development, he's training as a right wing back here. Now, that would never be me. I would never train, like a really good young attacking player as a fullback, would I? But I just absolutely adore it. Mad says, by the way, when describing this save, that they started at Braga but left for Brighton quite early in the save, got Champions League football but kind of messed around due to it being a beta save. Fair enough, to be honest. So what Matoma, Rooney and Buonanotte to play wing-back, and Maguire is learning target forward, as we have seen. Also, I have a Scottish-Romanian new gen called Vasile Popa, who came through first season, who is everything to me. Now, I've noticed for some weird reason, Vasily Popa has got a face in my save. Something to do with my face pack has pulled through and given him a face of somebody that is not him. However, this is a new gen player. Vasily Popa, Scottish Romanian, is a fantastic mix. Came through at Brighton as well and is now being given first team football. 18 years old. I quite like that as well, to be honest. That is a really fun one. Who is everything to me. I understand it. I rate it. Does he look like this? Probably not. I mean, what a save that is. Got Champions League football. Let's just check how he did when in that Champions League season here. They finished 9th this year, but last season, finished 4th, look, with 74 points. In behind Arsenal, Manchester United and Liverpool City in 5th. That's an interesting one. Let's have a quick look at the transfers before we move through, but I find it really funny, this save. Harry Maguire target forward is just something I can really get behind. By the way, is that something... Who is that? What is going on there? Why is there a striker called Michel Platini with that hair? What? What's going on? That's so weird. I mean, this is just someone called Change Playing Time. All right, do you know what? I need to get out of this save because it's just mental. Right, on to the next one. Okay, slightly more normal here. We have Ren submitting his network game, which he is managing Leeds. He's playing with his friend here, Phil, who is managing Manchester United currently. I'm going to take control of Ren's team here so we can have a look at his Leeds side and have a look at how this save has been going. This is, I'm expecting, knowing Ren, this is a lot more normal compared to Mad's team. Anyway, this is the tactic. It's a 4-1-3-2. If I just do a quick pick here, I'm sure, in fact, let's do quick pick best 11. We'll have a look at this Leeds team at, once again, the end of season number 3. There are some players in this team. Meslier is still there. Sildilia, Diamande, Badiashile, Barco. I mean, lots of these players play for me in my Newcastle save. Diamande and Barco are the two there. Badiashile is great. Really good in the air as well. Big bad Badiashile. Sildilia, Lavia, Andre Foden. Foden playing for Leeds at the end of the 3rd season. That has to be the biggest signing on here. We'll have a look at how Ren describes this save afterwards, but that's pretty fun. Jacob Ramsey as well. Love him. And then Omarodian. This one should have been on one of my bargain videos, but he's not necessarily a bargain, but he's maybe my favourite player on FM24 so far. Just have a look at him as a striker. This is obviously 3 seasons in, but he's just big, tall, strong, fast, great at finishing. So meta. I'm sure he scored all the goals here for Ren in this save. I just want to see as well just his polygon there. Look, I can see straight away he's actually scored a lot of goals. Last year he got 7 in 22. Year before that though, 25 in 39. So he had a really good season in his first season at the club. Where did Ren finish? He's up front, by the way, with Evan Ferguson, who is also another brilliant striker, of course. Not started this season here. I was going to say 11th isn't amazing. Let's go back to last season and see how we got on. Okay, Ren won the league. Fair play. Fair play. Where did United finish with? Okay, that's all the way down there. That's not, I want to see actually, with it being a network save, where has our friend Philip here been with his job history? Because apparently he's moved around a lot. So he started at Fulham, finished 7th, then 5th, then won the league with Rangers in Scotland. Weirdly, it says the under-21s there, but he's just moved to Manchester United and finished 9th with them. I assume because he came mid-season, or at least I hope so. I mean, look at that team in there, look, with like Kobe Manu starting in there, Lamine Yamal at Manchester United. Always good to do a network. I don't know many people who do a network save for the beta, but this seems like a really fun save. And then we've got, of course, actually, Ren did start in the Championship with Leeds. So he's already in 3 seasons come up from the Championship and won the league. How much did Phil Foden cost? Because that seems like a wild signing. £90 million they've signed him from Manchester City. Fair play. Let me just have a look at how Ren describes this save. He says, my mate started off at Fulham and ended up moving around a little, as we saw. I was promoted season 1, breaking the Championship points record. I mean, let's have a look at that season in here. If we go to the Championship, let's go back a couple of seasons and see that season. First season, 119 points. Yeah, fair play. 144 goals scored, 52 against. Yeah, that's probably the record. Also won the Carabao Cup. Season 3, I won the Europa League and the FA Cup. Won the Prem on the last day with all of the top 4 finishing on the same points. What? Did I miss that completely? Where he's won the league, apparently. Oh my word. What an ending to a season that is. Ren's won it on the last day with goal difference after Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City and Leeds have all got the same points. What was that last game of the season? Because I beat Liverpool for it as well. Liverpool must have gone in being top. Can I see that actually if I go to here? Can I see? No, I don't think I can. They've gone into that. Oh, it's this one anyway. Liverpool must have been top going into that and they've lost and ended up finishing 3rd. That is outrageous. I signed some crazy players as you will see. Yeah, we've seen a few of those. January season 3, I bought Foden. Yep. Fave player defo being Gray. Archie Gray, best player. Didn't see him in the... is he in there? Didn't see him in there. Let's have a look in the first team squad here. I assume it's Archie Gray. Yeah, there he is. Look. Yeah, it turns into a really good player. 20 years old now. 3 seasons in. Really solid Premier League player. And best signings have been Sildilia, Barco and Samu Omarodian. So Barco, I want to just see how he develops. Pretty good. And Sildilia, interesting one. I like it as a signing. There he is. Look, 24-year-old now. French right back. Pretty good. Really fun save this, Ren. Let's move through to another one. Okay, so I had to include this one when I saw it in the submissions list. It is from HipHip. I think I'm saying your name correctly. But when I saw who you were managing, and actually I raided over to you on Twitch not that long ago, he is doing a Hereford save, a club so close to my heart. A save that we have done previously back in the day. It's where I'm from, so I just love this as an idea. He's got Hereford in the beta in 2028 now. He is playing through these seasons. Let me tell you, the game's been out, what, 2 weeks? And we're up to 2028 here and winning League One with Hereford, 118 points most recently. We'll have a look at those previous seasons, but I think let's have a look at the team and who we've got in this. Do we recognise any of these players in here? Obviously a few years into this save now, so we're going to see some new gens perhaps as well. There's not as many that I recognise. I'll tell you who I do recognise. Ethan Pye is a fun one playing in this team there. And we've got Callum Scanlon, Liverpool youngster, playing in the team. Well, he's on the bench down here, probably played a few games beforehand. It's a very lower league save. I mean, this Tay Ashby Hammond gets about. Does he have a brother? He might have a brother. Either way, those goalkeepers, at least he does. You see him all the time, don't you? Any fun players in here? Lewis Macari. We've got, in fact, I just need to see this actually. I've just seen, as I'm looking through, this striker, new gen, Gabby Sandal, has got himself in League One here 39 goals. He's got 32 in 42 games this season on loan from Bournemouth, but 39 in all comps. What a loan signing he's turned into, and maybe possibly the star of the show. In fact, in HipHip's description, he says Vanarama to the Championship, only spending 6k, so really picking up the bargains. Maybe that's a chance. By the way, have a look at this team here. Some of these might be lower league bargains that you could go and pick up. Maybe not the new gens, of course, but maybe a player like Will Bapega, who has been one of the stars of the show, playing as the number 10 in behind the striker, scoring 21 goals in the league, 31 goals all comps, signed on a free from Sunderland. Maybe that one is a little bit of a bargain there. And he says that. He said, love the save. Our striker and AMC were unstoppable in the final season. Had to include it. It was Hereford. I mean, up to the Championship now for next season. I wonder if you'll go and carry it on, because maybe Hereford need to go and win a Champions League like I did all those years ago. Let's move through to another one. Oh, by the way, I should probably at some point in this video say thanks for being here. And if you do enjoy this, leave a like on the video. It really does help to push it out to a wider audience. And also, if you're here and not already subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 60,000 subscribers. And if you want to make sure that you can submit things for videos like this, I love looking at how you're playing FM. And I feel like it's a fun way of making videos and doing this. So I do want to do more of this. If you want to submit stuff, make sure you follow me on X, and also maybe join the Discord. That's usually where I post the Google forms that we do to for you guys to submit things. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to the channel. Let's now go through to the next one. Okay, then, and finally, we're going to have a look at Zoe's save here with Spurs. We are just one season in, and very impressively, Zoe has won the league with Spurs in that first season. They do have a lot of really, really good players, and of course, Spurs having a really good season in real life. So maybe this is just showing what is possible. I'm just looking at this first page here, and I'm seeing that Dejan Kulusevski has ended up being the top goal scorer. He's got 22 goals in this season, where they've achieved 97 points here, Spurs. That is a really, really good points total. Let's have a look at the team a little bit normal compared to some of the saves we've had a look at today, and some really, really nice signings. Interestingly, we see Sildilia being brought in again. Sildilia, who can play right back but can also play centre back, does have the height. Interesting that he's been a key point of two of those saves that we've had a look at today. Pedro Porro at right back, Hanko left back, Van der Ven, Forster as the starting goalie. I'm assuming that's not necessarily the case, although maybe it is. We've got Dennis Simon and Vicario down there. Okay, we might just have the international break with the holidays going on here, so maybe this isn't the best 11. This is just the 11 that's on there. I want to just actually pick without restriction. Pick best 11 just in case it changes. Yeah, Vicario comes in. Romero maybe comes in too. Udogie can come back in. Another save where João Neves is very prominent in the save. Bentancur, Kulusevski, Maddison. Look at Heung-min Son's star rating here. 20 goals from him, 22 from Kulusevski. Love the signing of Tammy Abraham. Always a classic. Always will deliver the goods for you in an FM save. Especially if you're doing an English save and can bring him back. He's 6'5", he's quick, he's strong, he's good at finishing. Tammy Abraham, go and sign him if you can. That's not news though, is it? I think we'd all agree. Any other big performance? Hang on a minute. Is that Trent Alexander-Arnold playing for Liverpool? Not playing for Liverpool, playing for Spurs in the first season of a save. 30 million. Now, I actually think this rings about. I think people have told me that sometimes he can get transfer listed, but what a player to just be able to bring in. Trent playing for Spurs here. I hate to see it, to be honest, but also it's cool to see in the game, but maybe not in real life. Any other good signings here? Eze, did they get... No, they wouldn't have got relegated yet because it's first season. I've signed him in the Newcastle save, actually. Thuram's there. We looked at Sildilia and Antonio Silva. He's a classic, isn't he? There's some nice signings here. How much money spent? we go to the transfer history. £502 million spent. Where are Spurs getting this money from? That is outrageous in terms of spending. £329 million brought in. Maybe that's the way that this is done. Lots of players been shipped. Wow. Okay, there's the money. We found it. Richarlison, Højbjerg and Lo Celso all shipped off to Saudi clubs for about 200 million all in together. That's where the money's come from. Fair enough. It's about £200 million, well, £180 million net spend overall, which maybe is less unrealistic than I was saying before. Tell you what, it's a really fun save. Gone and won the league. How did you get on in the cups in this one? 5th round exit in the FA Cup and won the Carabao Cup with a win against Arsenal. That would be a good one in real life, wouldn't it? To beat your rivals, your neighbours in a cup final. Anyway, GG's. There's some big wins in there. Playing, well, it's quite a routine 4-2-3-1 as well. It's the GYR FM tactic, the Swan Solona one, which I've seen that he's uploaded, I think a while ago actually, but yeah, 4-2-3-1. It seems to do the business. Really successful save. Won the league with Spurs first season. Signed Trent Alexander-Arnold. You love to see it. We'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of video. There are way more submissions that people have submitted. If you have submitted a save, thank you so much for doing so. I'm sorry I wasn't able to include it in today's video. If it's something that people like, if there's say 500 likes on this video, maybe we'll go and do another one at some point and I'll give you guys on YouTube the chance to submit them too. I will put the link to the submission form in the pinned comment, as well as the save files for all of these saves. If you want to go and check them out and have a look at how different players did, maybe look at some of the tactics, you're free to rip all of that stuff from the save files. I've got permission from all of the people who have submitted here to give you those save files. So they'll be in a folder in the pinned comment as well. And last of all, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video. I'll see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.